Hey guys, just got back from fishing a fun couple tournaments up on the Mississippi River. Had good success in both of them. And a couple of takeaways that I got from this event. We were faced with really low flow, high winds, 20 to 40 mile an hour on the championship days. So that definitely changed some things, and it made the most important thing about river fishing very difficult. Especially in the Mississippi River, it's got enough flow that it spells out the spots for you pretty easily. It shows you where you probably should be focusing your casts. And when the flow is low, it's not rushing over those rocks or obstructions or whatever you're fishing quite as easily, and the visual cues aren't always there. So every time I landed on a new spot, I immediately would put my Brew City pole down and start scanning with my active target to try to find my most likely cast and make sure that I'm set up the way that I wanted to be set up. And one of the most important things about scanning, like a wing dam, for example, is when you are scanning a wing dam, you want your beam to be pinging the face of the dam as perpendicular as possible to give you the cleanest image and expose any fish that might be tucked in nooks and crannies that would be hard to see otherwise. When you start scanning and you're more at a severe angle to that break line or wing dam or whatever it is, that beam is deflecting off a lot more of the surface of the face of that break or dam or whatever you're fishing, and it kind of clutters it up, which conceals some of the life that might be hiding really tight to that wing dam. So what I'd do is I'd start scanning. If I didn't see the groups of life set up the way I wanted it to be set up, I would jog over 10, 20, 30, 40 feet and start scanning some more until I finally saw what I was looking for. Then I'd reposition the boat so that I could make the appropriate cast to that particular spot. In the low flow, the fish weren't particularly pinned to just the juiciest spots on these dams. Sometimes there's a neat tip on the dam that you can fish. Sometimes there's a break in the wing dam that's funneling life. But in the low flow, those fish just kind of meandered around the dam and weren't really locked onto spots. So this was really crucial to find high percentage casts to make so that we could efficiently work through, a dozen spots in a day in the short amount of time that we had, since we had to lock up and we didn't have all day to just keep hopping around. So this really helped me make the most of my time while I was out there. For anybody that's river fishing, especially if you don't have river rat eyes to spell out your cast for you, having a pole in the back of the boat or however you have your boat set up to scan the area is really important. And once I did find the right cast, like I said, it was blowing 20 to 40 miles an hour during the championship day. In the low flow in practice, we were getting away with 3/16 quarter, 5/16 ounce size jigs, even 1/8 ounce jigs at times. There wasn't that much water to cast to, and the flow wasn't bad, so it really helped for a nice presentation when we were throwing our jigs. But come tournament day, with the wind, we had to bump up to 3/8 half, 5/8 ounce jigs, just so that it could offset the force that the wind was putting on the bow of your line and sweeping it out of the zone too fast. This held it in the zone a little bit longer, but then you had to do a little bit more rod work, whether it was hesitating the fall of the bait or just having a feel for it at all. Just getting that line a little bit tighter so you could maintain good bottom contact and keep your jigging, similar to what you were doing in practice. I'd alternate between a paddle tail and a fluke style bait depending on the fall rate that I was shooting for, and that changed from spot to spot depending on how steep the face of the dam was or the cast that I was making. If I wanted a little bit more resistance to help offset the extra weight of the jig head, I went to a paddle tail. And then when I wanted to let it fall as vertically and tight to those rocks, to that rock face as possible, I'd end up going to that fluke style bait. But they both worked really well. They both caught lots of fish. I got to feel a ton of fish tick the 7.3 black rain from JT Outdoor Products. I typically pitch with the 6.9 black rain, but this 7.3 was really nice for holding up just a split second longer, giving me that little extra lift and brake control on these heavier jigs as they were tumbling down the face of these dams. You'd kind of come up off the top of the dam, and then immediately it would want to fall, and there's a small window coming off the top of that dam where you could kind of hesitate it and hopefully pick up a fish that was kind of nosing up just on the top edge of that dam. And then the fast action of this rod did allow me to offset the extra stretch that's in this monofilament. So even in super windy conditions, I had no problem feeling bites, telegraphing bottom contact, and getting on and staying locked on a fish to get them in the boat. So those are a couple of the main takeaways that I gathered from the last few days on the river. I really appreciate the help of Jake Hendrickson and Galen Bremer for partnering up with me to fish these. Those guys have an amazing amount of river knowledge that have made me better out there as well. And it's fun to try to complement their abilities in the boat for a good day on the water. So good way to end the season. And as I start to wind down on the fishing part, I've got enough footage from several of the last few tournaments from this summer that I intend on, just showing you bits and pieces that I gathered from it, insights that might help you when you encounter certain situations that are similar. Wherever you go fishing, I just want to hopefully help you out there through my experiences this year as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be talking to you soon. See you.